Hello everyone, it is I, Mekklord, and today I am playing Blue Eyes. But you will quickly notice that I am not in fact playing Battle Chronicle because that is a skill for babies. I shouldn't talk shit about this skill. I have like cogs with this deck. Fleur. But I am playing a Blue Eyes Dimension list, which was pretty much just copied from Veprakal, who posted it on Duel Meta, who himself was inspired by Playmaker, who made a video on the deck when the new ritual spell High Ritual Art released. So what does this do? This allows you to ritual summon a monster from your deck, which is actually pretty good. With this, you can not only summon Borrowlord Riot Dragon, which is still a decent ritual monster, that is able to tribute itself in order to prevent an inherent special summon, which is a word that is going to get me killed by any economy judges, but also the skill exclusive Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, an untargetable, indestructible 4000 beta that can on its own pretty easily end games if you're not paying attention. So the deck's goal is basically to get Blue Eyes Beast Dragon out as soon as possible through the skill, sending it to the graveyard and then reviving it with Monster Reborn or through an egg. We do have the eggs, which can summon this in the end phase. This can search a wide variety of dragons in the end phase, including Deep Eyes White Dragon, which is not a Blue Eyes monster for some reason, but which was released before Dexall, which means it deals full burn damage, and there's nothing like burning your opponent for 3000. That's really something that doesn't really happen anymore. And the rest of the deck is a pretty classic pre-Battle Chronicle Blue Eyes list, where we are playing some level 1 tuners, some level 9 synchros, more specifically Blue Eye Spirit Dragon, which can float into Azure Eyes, or maybe Stardust Spark, or even Black Rose Moonlight. And then we also have the Blue Eyes Twin Burst that we don't need Poly to summon. So that's basically the deck. It's not exactly top tier competitive. It is kind of meme-worthy, but it did get me to Legend, so there's that. But enough yapping, let me show you a couple of replays. This here replay will be against Dragonmaid, one of the more popular non-hero decks on ladder at the moment. It is pretty fun to play. Maybe I should give it a try someday, considering that I have 2 chambers and pretty much everything else. Well, anyway, so opening hand, we're going second, you know, so the name of the game is Chaos Max OTK. My opponent is going to send Duel in order to get Chamber, normal the Chamber, activate the Chamber. Unfortunately for them, we have the effect Veiler, which means that's can get a search pretty much the end of their turn. They're going to set a card and pass. I am going to draw an egg. I'm going to bingo, machine go, revealing Spirit of White and 2 alternatives because I am not lucky. Is it random or do they get to pick actually? I forgot how bingo machine go works. They get to, no, they randomly picks. Why is this a thing? Why does my opponent randomly pick? Why is this a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh? Anyway, because I'm not lucky, I'm going to get the Dragon Spirit of White added to my hand. That's not exactly what I wanted, but then I'm going to pitch it for the skill, get a Monster Reborn and send a Blue Eyes. I'm like, can't actually really do anything here. Going to revive the Dragon Spirit of White. Dragon Spirit of White is going to try and banish that back row, which turns out to be a Forbidden Droplet, so I don't know why you would chain it here. Because, like, were you concerned that I would then float into a Blue Eyes? That you should have just let it go. Because you just, I mean, it's a Dragonmaid, so it's better in your graveyard, but why, you know? Then I'm going to summon the White Intervention and put the two together into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon in defense position because I am afraid. And I'm going to pass turn, and in the end phase I am going to summon the Blue Eyes Beast Dragon, which is going to get me High Ritual Art per its summoning effect, and because we're still in the end phase, is also going to get me a Deep Eyes White Dragon. I think the reason I didn't go to battle is because I know they would get the chamber back to hand and float into a Tinkak, and I didn't want them to plus, so that makes sense. Anyway. So, it's not a greatest turn. I'm gonna switch this guy to defense, Earnest, in order to summon a Kitchen from hand in defense position also, which is going to get them the Laundry, send the Laundry, and then I'm going to tribute the Spirit Dragon in order to summon the classic Azure Eyes, which is going to revive something. I forgot what. It's gonna revive with Blue Eyes, I guess. That's my least favorite. That's not true, actually. It's one of my least favorite Blue Eyes artworks. Let me know in the comments which Blue Eyes artwork is your favorite. This one is like a 6, you know? Going to summon Sage with Eyes of Blue, get another egg. This thing can search Effect Veiler. I don't know if you knew that. You probably did because you are all really smart people and I appreciate you for that. Going to Synchro the Abyss and the Sage into a second Spirit Dragon. And then High Ritual Art, tributing the Blue Eyes in my hand to summon the one, the only Blue Eyes Chaos Max. One of the absolute cards of all time. I can't wait for this card to actually get released in the game. Banishing the Abyss Dragon in order to boost my guys by 1,000. Which, this guy is double piercing damage. Uh-oh. It dealt 6,800 damage in one go. And even if it didn't, look at this ball. That's more than enough to OTK 7 times. Easy game. This here replay will be against Revolution de Fleur. A rather interesting variant. My opinion on Revolution de Fleur has sort of lessened over the months, not only because the skill was nerfed, even though it's not that big of a nerf, but also because in retrospect, Rev de Fleur wasn't all that obscene compared to... Anyway, my opponent's gonna activate Magical Meltdown, get the Alaster, the Invoker to their hand, normal summon the Alaster. If there was ever a time to drop Effect Veiler, it is now, so I'm dropping the Effect Veiler. Because I don't want to deal with Mekaba. That's not great news. They're going to then go for Necro Synchron, turn the Alaster into a level 6, then Synchro 8 for Stardust Dragon. Is inoculating. What's the one I'm looking for? Protecting their field rather against Dark Hole, then summoning a Dogmatika Fleur de Lis because they do control an extract monster. Then they're going to be able to put the Gob and the Fleur de Lis into Power Tool, a Braver Dragon, currently limited one, equipping not 1, not 2, but 3 equipped spells from deck. The Disposable Learner Device, which can recycle itself, Life Extreme, which gives you the opportunity to pop a card, and Infernal Arms Durandal, which they're then going to activate to get a Boost Warrior added to their hand, revive the Glow Up Ball by milling an Effect Veiler, and then special the Boost Warrior so they can put 2 and 2 level 1 monsters into an Ensemble Robin in defense position. So a pretty impressive board, all things considered, right? That's actually pretty decent considering that I negated their Alistair with the Effect Veiler. They would also have been able to go into Mekaba otherwise because they did have a Light Engrave. And even if they did not mill Effect Veiler, they have the Third Eye. So pretty cool, pretty dope. But unfortunately, not enough, because I am the Blue Eyes Master and I'm an idiot. I am going to send Blue Eyes, send Abyss, and then summon the alternative immediately, which for some reason I waited to do that. I could have done this first thing. You know, we're going to watch the animation, but the alternative is, of course, not going to stick on the field because it is, in fact, going to get bounced back by the Unstable Robin. However, you know what can't be bounced back? It is the one, the only Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. A magnificent monster that threatens lethal on its own. My opponent is going to then forcibly switch their guy to defense position with its own effect and then activate the Life Extreme to pop the Unstable Robin, acknowledging that otherwise I just have double lethal. Unfortunately, they can only do this in main phase, so when I threatened to go battle, they were forced to do this, which means that I can still continue my play activating Monster Reborn to revive the Abyss Dragon without... I guess I should have done the Effect Veiler thingy, the alternative dragon thingy at the beginning of my turn, like, not at the beginning, but after. I guess I couldn't have because I needed to tribute the Blue Eyes in hand for High Ritual Heart. Anyway, I'm going to revive the Abyss Dragon now that the Unstable Robin is no longer there. But unfortunately for me, my opponent does have an Effect Veiler, which is pretty good. I am going to attack into the powerful Braver Dragon. I need to check why I'm losing 1500 Zag as I do. It's probably the effect of Life Extreme. Yeah, it is Life Extreme. I've never read this card before, except once, and I forgot. And then I'm going to crash the Blue Eyes Abyss into Stardust, and they're going to get back the disposable learner device in the end phase, but then they're going to acknowledge that they can't really do anything against the untargetable, indestructible might of Blue Eyes Chaos Max unless they top deck a Sorcier de Fleur, which revives something, which they can turn into a Sorcier de Fleur. Or there's they revive Blue Eyes, and they go into Negation and they get rid of it. But that didn't happen, so that's fine. This here replay will be against Gemini, one of the most promising deck of this format. I think it's like a strong contender for like 4th best deck, maybe even 3rd, you know? So it's a really strong deck with a really strong skill, and the deck that I used to call last season. So, this time we're also going second. My opponent is going to activate the Phoenix Rising skill revealing an Evocator Revec from their hand in order to activate Gemini Ablation from their deck, sending the Chevalier in order to bring back the Evec, which in turn is going to revive the Chevalier. Durandal gets them a Renaud, pops itself. Renaud is going to special summon itself. At this stage, you would think they would go for a Charles into Charlemagne's line, but the Emperor Charles rather. No, Captain Renaud into Emperor Charles. Charlemagne is like the real guy that these cards were based on, and not a card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yet. But instead, they go for an Abyss Dweller, sitting in defense position, detaching the thingy. For some reason, they're gonna get the second Evocator Revec, which I'm not sure why they would detach for Dweller here, but they do think that Dweller is really important in this matchup because it does turn off all of my eggs, and I do need my eggs. That's kind of annoying. They have the second Durandal, which again are going to activate, equipping the Roland, and then getting a Necro Garna in end phase, which can be used, in fact, to protect them against one attack. I'm going to pitch an egg to Melody of the Awakening Dragon. The Dweller is going to detach the last material. Then Bingo Machingo is going to reveal one Abyss, one Dragon Spirit of White, one Abyss. Gonna get the Abyss randomly, 2 out of 3 chances. Pitch the Abyss, pitch the Dragon Spirit of White to send both of them to the graveyard. Summon the one, the only. I have 3 in the deck, so it's no longer the one, the only, but the Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, which is one of the cards of all time. I used to have a friend that wanted to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Wanted to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Playing Blue Eyes. So I gave him my alternatives. And then a couple of months later, we got into an argument. And now he's no longer my friend. I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have given him my alternatives. That's my mistake. Anyway, Monster Reborn is going to bring back the Deep Eyes Abyss Dragon, which is going to get me the higher ritual art, and you know what happens next, tributing the Blue Eyes in order to summon the one, the only, Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. I don't think I have any Chaos Max in real life. That's a shame. Maybe I should get them. My opponent is going to activate the skill, pitching Necro Gardener at the end of main phase in order to bring out an Evec, which is going to bring out a Chevalier. And they're going to let me attack with the alternative, with the Abyss Dragon, but negate the Chaos Max attack with the Necro Gardener, because otherwise it's just lethal. In the end phase, Abyss Dragon is going to get me a Deep Eyes White Dragon. Remember this, because this is a very funny thing that is going to be important later. I'm going to activate a Lot Life Barrier in response to the Catalyst Field in order to protect my board against battle damage. Some people play Rainbow Life. I like a Lot Life Barrier because basically we feel the same thing. I guess maybe Rainbow Life is better if you just like set it and pass turn 1 so you can prepare for the OTK turn 2. I guess that's the reason why people play Rainbow Life. So both of them are funny cards. Anyway, probably should get limited so you can't stop using them. Anyway, limited 3 is what I said about these cards in my last ban list. My opponent is going to do a couple of thingies that lead them to bring out the Emperor Charles. Roland is going to equip himself to the Charles. Charles is going to pick Deep Eyes White Dragon. Oh no! That will trigger the Deep Eyes White Dragon in my hand, burning them for 3,000 damage. And granting me lethal. That was a very fun game. And last but not least for today, I will be playing against, I think this was Orcust. It was a really weird Orcust list. A lot of people are giving Orcust a try now that Scrap Recycler is free once again, but I don't know if Orcust is able to compete in this current metagame. This time I'm going first. So, I'm gonna get my Sage with Eyes of Blue, getting me a White Stone of the Ancient. Use the Melody to pitch an egg, get Alternative and Blue Eyes, activate the scale to pitch a Blue Eyes and a Deep Eyes to get a Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn, the, what do I call it, Deep Eyes? Second time, it's a Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon, not the same, they do have kind of a sleek frame, both of them. Anyway. Blue Eyes Abyss is going to get me higher Ritual Art, then going to summon the Alternative. We don't need to see the animation again. Put both of them together into a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, higher Ritual Art, tributing the Blue Eyes White Dragon, not for Chaos Max, because we don't have the Chaos Max in deck. We activated the skill going first, but for a Warlord Riot Dragon, which can in fact negate a summon. And in the end phase, White Stone of the Ancient gets me a Dragon Spirit of White. I'm not sure why, I guess I thought it would be cute. And Blue Eyes Abyss gets me a Deep Eyes. My opponent is going to activate their scale and then concede. The reason I'm showing you this replay is because I thought that was a pretty cool turn 1 end board. And this is basically the best turn 1 end board this deck can achieve. But my opponent didn't really do anything, so it's kind of lame in retrospect. So that's the deck. Like I said, it's kind of a meme deck, not really competitive. You're basically hoping and coping that you can survive the turn 1 with a Loud Life Barrier or Rainbow Life. And then OTK on turn 2 with the Chaos Max. Or maybe you set a decent turn 1 end board that includes Riot Dragon and Blue Eyes Abyss searching Deep Eyes for some additional protection. But it's clearly not nearly as competitive as the stuff that you would find in Legend, which does include Predator Plant, Salamangreat, and of course Steel Hero despite the nerfs. This being said, this is a really fun deck. I really enjoyed playing it, and it's probably the best I'm going to get with a ritual deck because I'm trying to learn Necros and I'm still garbage at it. But that's a story for another video. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you appreciated this video. If you did, make sure to like, comment what you think about this deck or other decks in general, and subscribe if you have not already. If you would like to support me financially, I can also direct you to my Ko-fi page in the video description, where you can make a one-time donation or a monthly pledge. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my Ko-fi donators in the form of Dingust, Zinnia Boy 0, Jimmy, Yannick, Sile, Mark Lu, Fortunello 16, Orc Price, the Abyss Actor Guru, and Exorcist. Thank you all for the support. That will be it for today's video, just a little fun video while I try to find more decks to showcase. So once again, if you have any deck suggestions, let me know in the comments. Take care everyone, and I will see you all next time.